Well, let's talk about, there's a lot, obviously we don't know much about the details of this, but anti-satellite technology, obviously any military force would try to knock out an opponent's satellites. What concerns you about this? What do you make of the little that's publicly available out there?
Well, we've been, I think, tracking this ever since I was both secretary and director of the CIA. We were concerned about China and their ability to use laser beams to basically, in some way, destabilize satellites or bring them down. This involves the possibility of nuclear weapons in space. It's a military capability, and using those nuclear weapons in space to basically either paralyze these satellites or bring them down. And what is the problem? The problem is that we use satellites for communications purposes. We use satellites for intelligence purposes. We use satellites for GPS purposes and other information purposes as well that relate to our national security. If Russia could blind our ability to be able to gather that kind of information, make no mistake about it, that would be an act of war because it would threaten our national security.
And is that technology, I assume the U.S. would be looking into that any kind of technology like that themselves?
Well, without question, the United States would obviously be looking at similar ways to be able to disable both Chinese and Russian satellites, but more importantly, to defend against their use of these kinds of military capabilities. So I'm sure that the Pentagon is developing the ability not only to track what the Russians are doing and determine whether or not they're going to try to deploy something like this, but also how do they defend against it if it should happen.